Hi guys, good afternoon everybody. It's the 30th of June. Oh, whoa. And it's this light coming from the windows making me a bit odd. Anyway, it's the 30th of June, so I thought I'd give you a little update how I'm getting on with everything. So I've been doing paleo. Actually, I'm doing more keto now in paleo, although I am following the paleo principles and that I'm still no dairy and no grains and no complex carbohydrates. I'm doing more of the keto side of things because in paleo there's a lot more that you can have. It's not as restrictive, but because I want to lose weight, I decided that to do the ketogenic diet, otherwise also known as banting, was something that I felt for my thyroid I would lose more efficiently for my weight. And so I've been doing that from more or less the second week. I sort of did a bit more research about paleo and I felt that some of the food was still a little bit too heavy carbs for me because they can have sweet potatoes and things and I didn't want to have that. But the thing about keto is that you're allowed to have dairy, you know, like butter and cream and cheese and stuff, but because I wanted to follow the principles of paleo, I have had no dairy. I've kept my natural sugars under 20 grams a day. I usually fall around about the 10 grams, 15 grams a day mark for my daily sugar, and that is just what's naturally occurring in the food. It's not sugar that I've added. So because things like tomatoes and even cucumber have a tiny bit of natural sugars in them. I don't have any fruit really. I might have the occasional sort of strawberry every now and then. Sometimes I'll have like 4 to 6 strawberries, but it's not a daily occurrence. It's kind of just every now and then, just when I fancy something a bit sweet. I've been doing quite a lot of experimenting in my kitchen. I've got some little gadgets and stuff for the kitchen, so I've been able to do a little bit more experimenting with my cooking, and one of my recent things has been that I made coconut yogurt. I bought a coconut maker. No, sorry. I bought a yogurt maker. And then I used the coconut milk from a can and probiotics, and I made yogurt from it, and it was really nice. The only thing is that with the recipe that I tried, it called for a thickening agent, which was tapioca starch, which is totally compliant within paleo guidelines. But the only thing is that I found it left kind of a little bit of a grainy texture. So what I decided to do is that I'm going to do the other recipe that they also did on the page, which just uses the coconut cream so that I don't have to use a thickener, because it kind of spoiled the yogurt for me. But what's been quite cool about doing the coconut yogurt is that I actually was able to make ice cream using my ice cream maker, because I've got an ice cream maker now. I'll show you just to see. In the background, you see my little that's my little gadget heaven here. So you can see like the scales are on top of my yogurt maker, and then to the left and to the right of that I've got my food processor, and then I've got my nicer dicer, which I love, and then my ice cream maker's over there in the corner, you can see. Yeah, I've gone a bit mad with the kitchen gadgets, only because I really like to cook, and I didn't really have a lot of the gadgets to do some of the things with. I had like a really old food processor and it was like ginormous. It was like huge and it took up like 3/4 of the thing. So I bought this new compact food processor, which is so much easier, and the nicer dicer has probably been one of my best investments that I made for the kitchen. It cost me 45 English pounds because I bought the proper JML one. I didn't buy a knockoff because I was a bit concerned that it might not be as good. And I have to say, it's cut down my preparation for vegetables literally by half. It's absolutely fantastic. So if you ever wonder, you know, about it, if you've ever seen it, you know, it comes with a mandolin as well, so I can make coleslaw and all sorts of stuff with it. So it's absolutely brilliant. If you're into, like, if you're a veggie as well, a vegetarian, it's brilliant for making all sorts of things. It's got loads of different kinds of blades, so it makes teeny tiny little dice things to, you know, bigger dice, and it does wedges, it does slices, it's got the mandolin, it's got the grater, and then if I want to do really fast grating I can use my food processor. But the yogurt maker, I got that, it's an Amazon basic. I looked at loads of yogurt makers and they were the only one really that had really good reviews, and everybody was saying it was as good as the professional one. So I thought, wow, you know, it's a lot cheaper because all the others were like sort of £30 and this one was sort of £23, and they reckoned it was as good as, you know, the professional one. So I thought, why not? I never made yogurt before in my life, so it was a completely new adventure for me. But I really did enjoy making it, and the yogurt, I mean, I've got it tonight actually because we're going to the cinema with my friend and she does the same diet as me. Oh, I've gone all dark. Oh, there we are. I'm there again. And basically what I've done is I've made this chia pudding out of one of my yogurts. So this was a coconut yogurt, and then what I've done is I've put a tablespoon of chia seeds in and a tablespoon of cacao powder. So the chia seeds and the cacao powder, don't add any more sugar to it at all. So there's no sugar in them, they're both unsweetened, but it kind of like makes it more like a mousse, like a really thick mousse. Come with me, I am going to make my coffee because it's in the thing. So yeah, so I've done different things with it. I made the coconut ice cream, which was yum, and I just put chopped walnuts on it, and that was nice. So yeah, it is definitely worth making your own yogurt for sure. Still, like you see, dairy free. This is I love this one. It's my favourite. Well, my favourite is hazelnut milk, but the problem is it has got a little bit of added sugar to it, so I don't have it very often. It's just like a treat, but it really does make my coffee taste really nice, so I kind of like every now and then just as a treat, it's alright. And I'm still keeping my sugar levels within the goals that I've set, so that's all good. You can sort of see my fridge, look, it's absolutely full of veggies. Yeah, we're very, very veggie mad in this house. Anyway, I'll bring my coffee over so we can sit and have a chat. So yeah, I've been doing lots of experimenting with food. I made this cod thing the other day, which was really nice. It was just like a cod fillet, and then in a bowl I just did 2 tablespoons of ghee, and then I did a teaspoon of parsley, salt and pepper. I did 2 slices of prosciutto, I think that's how you say it, bacon. It's like Italian thin bacon, very similar to Parm ham but a bit more salty. And you just mince it up so it's like really, really minced, and you mix it in with the ghee, the parsley, and salt, pepper, and then you put a couple of tablespoons of lemon juice in there, and then you coat the cod in the mixture, and then I always put king prawns on the top, and then a little bit of dill and salt and pepper again, and then I just cook it for 20 minutes in the oven, and it was delicious. And then when I served it up, I poured the juice that was left in the pan on the top, so that you got all the lovely healthy fats and everything, you know, so you didn't miss out on anything. Hello, Tress. My cat's just, yeah. You gonna come and say hello? Come on then. Come and say hello to everybody. She might do, she's a bit shy. Hello. Okay. Oh, here we go. There she is. She's beautiful. She is beautiful. She's a bit mad though. Just seen her this morning, and she literally bounced up and over the top of one of the doors. She's what we call our little free runner of the house, aren't you? She's a bit mad. Anyway, so as far as weight loss has gone, my next weigh-in's not until Monday, but I did have a sneaky peek this morning, and I've lost 1.5 stone in, what am I, 7 weeks on Monday, I think I am, 7 weeks on Monday, so I've lost about 1.5 stone. Now I always lose the first bit of weight, like my first 2 to 3 stone quite quickly. When I've lost weight before, I did lose it quite quickly. So I'm not sure how long term that's going to be, you know, how good it be long term. But lots of things really. with regards to my menopause, my symptoms have really leveled out. The only time I get hot flushes now is if I forget to take my tablets in the morning, because I take 2 sage and 2 red clover in the morning with my thyroxine, because I still take my thyroxine until I've had my tests, because I might be able to come off my thyroxine, so I'm only on 50 milligrams. And if my thyroid is behaving itself, it might be that they will wean me off, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see, because a lot of people who have done ketogenic diets have actually been able to come off their thyroxine, so we shall see. But literally the only time I have hot flush now is if I forget to take those tablets in the morning, because I take 2 red clover in the morning and 2 at night, and 2 sage in the morning and 2 at night, and then have like a multivitamin that I take. But I have to be really careful, because I mustn't mix my multivitamin with my thyroxine because of the copper in my multivitamin, so I always take them 12 hours apart. So that's why I take my vitamin at night, because I am doing the intermediate fasting 16-8, which means I fast for 16 hours and I eat in 8-hour period. It's something that I've only just started doing, because everything I've read and all the YouTube videos I've watched, and I've been following this Dr. Berg, everything that he said and things that I've read show that especially with thyroid issues, that the 16-8 fasting is a really good way to go, because it makes your body use your actual body fat for energy. And the weird thing is that I've actually had more energy in the morning since I started intermediate fasting. So we will see, because obviously with my ME and my fibromyalgia, fatigue has always been a massive issue. And also at the moment it is the summer, and one of the things I said to my husband is, you know, am I feeling more energetic? Or when I say more energetic, I mean for somebody who's got fibro. Am I feeling more energetic because the weather is warmer, or is it because of the intermediate fasting or the ketogenic diet or the paleo changes? I mean, I've noticed like lots of different things. Since I started intermediate fasting, I started getting some spots as well, so I don't know what that's about, which I never had before. So my body's obviously trying to detox something. But I've noticed like I am sleeping better. I'm still not sleeping as well as I would like. I'm still sort of waking up where before I was waking up every 2 hours. So because I was in agony, I was constantly waking up and turning over, sometimes every hour. Like I've taken to put my phone flat so I can't see the time, because I found that if it was near time to get up, I couldn't get back to sleep, which is a pain in the ass. So I don't look at my clock at night at all. Just let my alarm wake me up. But I've noticed that I'm sleeping for longer periods of time. I don't know if this is to do with ketogenic diet, but a few videos that I've watched of people who are YouTubing about their ketogenic diet journey have said that they sleep better. And that would be brilliant for me, because it's something I've always really struggled with, because I get off to sleep fine and never have any issues getting off to sleep, but then once I'm actually asleep, then I constantly wake up through the night, and it is quite a common fibro symptom. An interesting thing did happen last week. I'd literally been rushed off my feet. I think it was actually on Monday, not last week. It was on Monday, because I went to a meeting at work and I was really, really thirsty. I hadn't taken water with me, which I normally always do. I always have these little, because I buy these from Aldi. I normally have one of these in the car. They're like little 500 mils of sparkling water, and I was really, really thirsty. And yes, they did have water. I could have had it. But then I saw this drink by Robinson's called Robinson's Spring, and it's supposed to be all natural. So I read the ingredients on the back, and it was all natural. There was nothing in it except for spring water and very small amounts of fruit, and the sugar was extremely, there was like zero virtually, it was like 0.01% or something, so it was like incredibly low, so I knew it wouldn't ruin my macros. The only thing it had in it to sweeten it was it had stevia, can't say it today, steviol glycerides, something like that. I can never say it. It's like a really apparently it's a more refined way of doing the stevia, so it's anyway, I had the drink, and going down it was lovely, and then I had that horrible bitter aftertaste, because I know not everybody gets it, but I did have this horrible sorry, got a doggy here. She's like, what about me? I did have this horrible aftertaste that because I'm not really very keen on stevia, because I always find that it gives me like really bad bitter aftertaste. So I don't have it at home, I don't like it. But because stevia is paleo compliant, of course I thought, no, I'll be safe having that because it's paleo compliant, and also there was 0 carbs in it, so I knew it wouldn't mess up my macros, and I just really fancied something fruity, because you know water doesn't always cut it sometimes. And but the only thing was, it's like literally within 20 minutes I started getting quite a bad headache. What's going on, Freya? There are noisy people out there. She's like, she only wants to be in my lap because she can see out the window. And that's the only reason why. Isn't it? That's the only reason why. Anyway, so within 20 minutes I started getting like a really nasty headache, and by the time the evening came, it was like full on pounding headache, sort of migrainous almost. I had like the horrible double vision thing going on. And then I thought, maybe it's because I haven't really eaten today, because I realised I've got to about 5 o'clock and I suddenly thought I actually haven't had any lunch. And normally when I have to do fasting, by 1 o'clock I'm eating, I have something to eat. But because I'd had to go to a meeting, and then I had to go and do the horses, and then I did shopping and all sorts of stuff, I did loads of stuff, I didn't have a chance to eat until about 6 o'clock. And I bought a couple of boiled eggs. They do them in Aldi in the snack section, and I had a couple of boiled eggs in the car because I was really hungry, and that was the first time I'd eaten. So effectively I'd done almost a 24-hour fast without thinking. So I thought, I wonder whether or not it's because of that, you know, because I haven't eaten, and you know, that's what I thought it was. Anyway, so I had a really good big dinner, lots of nice healthy fats, and really nice yummy dinner. It was really nice. And the headache just would not shift, and in the end I felt like crap. I was actually sat there going like, oh my god, my head's killing me. And then I actually had such a bad headache that you're going to have to go down, sweetheart, because Mummy needs to have a coffee, and I can't do it with you in my arms. I don't want to burn you accidentally. She is beautiful. Yeah, she is. Anyway, I decided to go to bed early because I just like felt so crap, and then I kept waking up in the night because my head was really hurting, and it was actually the pain of my headache was waking me up. And then in the morning I felt like hungover, like I'd literally had too much wine the night before. I felt really hungover, and I really ached everywhere. And then I was having a chat about it on the Facebook group that I'm on for banting, because I'm on about I'm not actually doing banting, but one of the guys on there is absolutely fantastic at giving advice, and he knows I'm doing more ketogenic paleo, but he sort of gives his advice towards that. But he's fantastic, and it's one of the reasons why I stay on the group. And I basically said, could it have been the stevia, because I haven't had any sugar, no sugar in my coffee, no sugar in my tea. I don't add sugar to anything. Any sugar I have is completely naturally occurring in my food, so I'm not adding sugar to anything. And this was the first time I'd had any artificial sweetener in like nearly 7 weeks, so I thought, I wonder if it was the sweetener, and he said it very well could be. And I said, you know, I've had sweeteners in the past and I've never thought I had an issue with them. And he said, well, you were probably just so overloaded with so many things, because the other thing I didn't know until sort of recently was that I am really histamine sensitive. So like if there's lots of histamine in certain foods, it really makes me bunged up. But before I went on paleo, I never noticed it, because I was literally overloaded my system with so much crap my body didn't know what to react to first. So and I only found out I was histamine sensitive recently after I had a glass of wine. And I've had a glass of red wine, I've drank red wine a long time. I don't like white wine because it upsets my stomach and it's very acidic, and so I've always drank red wine, never had an issue with it unless I drink like tons of it, which I don't. It's a very rare occurrence. I have like the odd glass every now and then, so I was like really shocked. I was just sort of like, wow, you know, it just shows how much I was overloading my system with so much shit. So yeah, it just kind of brought it home to me really how much all this artificial stuff really does affect us, and half the time we don't even notice. So yeah, I won't be doing that again. If I really want a fruity drink, I'm just going to puree some strawberries or blueberries or something and just put it in my sparkling water. I mean, I already put lemon juice into my sparkling water, which I really love. It's so refreshing. And the weird thing is that, you know, I was at the beginning of all this, I was like, I can't drink water, it tastes disgusting, it makes me gag. And now I'm kind of like drinking it straight out of the tap, and I'm just glugging it back. I mean, we do drink quite a lot. I would say we drink quite a lot of filtered water. I buy this one from Aldi because it's really cheap. It's like £1.99 for 4, I think. But it's a really nice flavoured water. Some sparkling water is quite bitter, and this one isn't at all. It says it's from the Shepley Spring, sorry. And then I obviously buy the little versions, which I've already just shown you. These ones, I buy the little versions because these are great for hubby to take to work as well. And I keep them in the fridge so they're nice and cold. I did have like one of those filter jugs, but I discovered it doesn't even take the fluoride out of the water, and that's the one thing that I'm really sensitive, that I know I'm sensitive to. I mean, I looked at the nutritional guidelines for water in this area, and our fluoride is like 0.5 something, whatever the thing is, and so I am actually getting fluoride through my tap water. I mean, obviously if I boil it, it's all right because it takes it out a bit, and the only way to get rid of fluoride is to have an osmosis system, and they cost an absolute fortune. But I am actually allergic to fluoride, so it just makes you wonder how much you know, the fluoride is affecting my system. I mean, obviously I try to restrict how much tap water I have. I try and have filtered water because that one doesn't have any fluoride in it at all. And I've always like brushed my teeth with like aloe vera toothpaste and stuff that haven't got fluoride in them. But yeah, that was another thing that I just wondered about. It's like I'm just been overloading my system with like chemicals and synthetics, and I've just realised this week that my bloody vitamins have got maltodextrin in, which if you're gluten intolerant or you're gluten free, you shouldn't be having, because it comes from corn and wheat. And it is a type of sugar, so I've got to try and source another multivitamin that doesn't have maltodextrin in it. And I do believe I looked at my red clover this morning, and that one had some sort of sugar in it as well. And it's only because I've become more educated in the last few weeks, I've done a lot more reading, that I realised that there was these other types of sugar in there, and I was just like, trying to keep my sugar down, it's like a nightmare. It's in every bloody thing, and soy as well. That's the other thing. Soy is really in everything. It's like you look at it and you're like, that's got soy in it, I can't have that. Even like the gluten-free stuff has got soy in it. So if you like on Paleo, you're completely soy free, you don't have soy at all, and then you find it in just about everything that's gluten free that you might be able to have. So this is why I've started having to do completely clean eating. So I've had to start making my own stuff for everything, like mayonnaises and condiments, and because you just can't believe what you find. Even stuff that's supposedly compliant, I found soy stuff in, or I found potato starch or some such thing. The other thing that I've been doing, I have to get him out for you to show you, hang on. He's a bit shy. I've got to be very gentle. So this is my kombucha brew. And you can see my little SCOBY going on in there. He's really growing a new SCOBY, and I'm trying to be very gentle with him, keeping him in the dark. Smell the stuff. Go very gentle. I've got a tasting. Get out! The dog's like, what's that? So yes, I was really lucky. We got like a free cycle service in where I live. And a free cycle service, for those American people that wouldn't know, is that we have like a recycling system in England that runs all over the country, but it's quite popular here in the town that I live in. And basically, people offer up stuff for free for people to rehome, and I've managed to get loads of really cool stuff. Like today I went and picked up a fish tank of all things for my husband, quite a big one as well. And then I've got got a whole virtually brand new Dyson Hoover. And then this week also I picked up a cat fountain for the cats. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, this lovely lady called Penny. Hello, Penny. I've advertised on there that she had scobies, and I've been kind of umming and ahhing about doing a kombucha for ages because it's like full of really cool stuff, like really high in antioxidants, B vitamins and probiotics, and just about every cool thing you can think of on the planet. It's got just a brilliant thing, but I've been kind of like about it. But my jar literally cost me £6. It cost me hardly anything. It's only a gallon jar because I thought I'd start off small because you can buy a bigger jar. But I think what I'm going to do is just stick to the smaller jars and maybe have 2 or 3, and then I can sort of like thingy-majiggy them. And anyway, so it's in the first brew, or F1 as they like to call it. And then I managed to get these in Wilkinson's, and these are what they recommend you put your kombucha in, because these little rubber tops, they allow your kombucha to burp itself so that you don't get exploding bottles, because the kombucha gets really, really fizzy. So that's been my new venture. So I've got to taste it over the weekend, because if you know anything about kombucha, the scobies eat all the sugar that's in them, so you end up with virtually no sugar, but you still want a slight sweet taste, sort of in between sweet and sour almost. It should have a slight sour taste to it, but not vinegary. So they recommend that you test it after 5 days, so that's tomorrow. So I'm going to test it tomorrow and see what it's like. And then might leave it for the 7 days, which was recommended. Someone said, oh, leave it for 7 days, and then I'm going to ferment in my F2 bottles, and I'm doing my first lot. I'm doing 2 because I've only got like a 1 gallon, so I'll get 4 of these. So I'm going to do 2 mango and 2 strawberry for my F2s, and then I will let them brew for 2 or 3 days, I reckon. And then I should be able to put them, and then you put them in the fridge, and that stops them fermenting anymore. And then be able to drink them, and it's really naturally fizzy. So that's something I'm quite excited about trying. I'll keep you updated about what it's like, because they're very good. So that was another new venture. I can't think of anything else really. Let me think what else. Been fine with my post-op issues. I've been getting a little bit of tummy pain, but it is literally because I've overdone it. I know it is because I've been doing too much housework or something. Like yesterday, I cleaned the kitchen bits and bobs and got on my hands and knees and cleaned the radiators and all sorts of stuff yesterday. I did far too much. I did far too much for my knee as well, because my knee has been killing me. I've got to go back to the doctors because I'm a bit annoyed with them actually, because I've been able to get to my notes online, and in my notes it says that the x-ray said that it found a burr and a lesion on my knee, but it put no further action. So the doctor's not done any further action, but actually if you read about burrs and lesions, it's not actually a good thing to have on your knee, and it's a sign of osteoarthritis. And a big burr can cause like a lot of pain, and I can't even kneel down on my knee anymore. It's absolute agony, and every time I get up from sitting it kills. So like I've been to the doctors 5 times in a year, so I think that shows something is not right. So I'm going to go and insist on going to the knee clinic. Worst case scenario is that you have to have keyhole surgery on your knee, and you're not allowed to do anything for 6 weeks. But I said to my husband, I really can't afford 6 weeks off at the moment, so even if it is worst case scenario, it's just going to have to wait because I can't afford to do it. I'm hoping that it will be the less case scenario, and they'll be able to do like they do ultrasounds and stuff, and it like makes it crumble and come off and stuff. It does a weird thing, so I'm hoping that's going to be the case. But anyway, I've waffled on for ages. Hope you're all right. I try and give you more updates when I can. I just forget, to be honest. I'm not very good with my brain at the moment, not remembering stuff, and I just forget to do little updates. Oh, I'm about 6 weeks from riding again, which will be brilliant because I'm getting a lot of backache issues and pelvis issues, which I know that the riding was really good physiotherapy for before, so I'm quite looking forward to getting back in the saddle so I can actually address those issues, because the more pelvis pain I get, the more backache I get, and you know, and it's like a vicious circle. So I'm quite looking forward to get back in the saddle so I can address my hip and pelvis issues. It's the best kind of physiotherapy, and obviously it'd be nice to get back on Spirit. So yeah, hope you're having a good time. I'm off to see Despicable 3 tonight with my best mate. Really looking forward to that. So I hope you're all going to have a great weekend. I'm working, so I can't say it's going to be the most fantastic weekend in the world, but you know, you do your best, and I will see you soon. Ta-ra, bye.